Well, hello again, welcome back to my channel. And what a day it is today. It's bloody gorgeous, really is. Guess where we are yet? And the reason we've come out today is because of that. As you can see, I'm out with a mate of mine. There he is down there. I'll introduce you to him later. You might have heard of him. So because of the snow and ice that we're expecting, I've got my winter boots on. And the thing with as soon as you change to winter boots, you notice that the sole is quite rigid. And walking on this tarmac like this, it's really not great in winter boots at all. But conditions we're expecting, this has dropped quite quick, this snow, so we're not expecting to need ice axe and crampons. There's no real terrain that would warrant an ice axe because I know the route, but I have brought micro spikes. Again, it's not so much about conditions now, got to consider what conditions are going to be like in the morning when we start heading down. And tonight it's going to be pretty cold, so there's probably going to be more ice tomorrow than there is today. Well, try not to fall over this cattle grid. Made it. So we've just reached Oxendale Beck now, and just look how dry that is. Talk about dried up riverbeds. This is it. I mean, there'll probably be a bit in the middle there. That's the bridge that we're going across, and then head up that way towards Red Tarn. But yeah, it's so dry, and we're quite sheltered here, so because we're a bit out of the wind, it's bloody warm. So this top's going to be coming off soon, just before we start that ascent, and that is an absolute slog. Today's slog is that we're just looking up to Crinkle Crags there, and right in the middle is Crinkle Gill. That's what I did last summer. What a day, it's just unbelievable. And it's so quiet as well. I don't know what's going on. I'm just saying to Andy, oh, I've just told you I'm with. Right. So I'm just saying to my mate, not Andy, how quiet it is. Look at the river there. Imagine this when we've had some proper rainfall. Wow. Right, we'll get on with it. So this snow, it's quite powdery really, so there's no need for ice axe, crampons or anything like that. We may get something a bit more harder, frozen, higher up. We're probably heading to, ooh. Yeah, we don't need ice axe and crampons, then he breaks his neck. But we're probably going to get to about 2,400 feet, something like that. Whew. Yo. Look at the views. And we're about a quarter of the way up. But you just head down, just keep plodding on. Before you know it, you're up there. And on stuff like this, you really find out the weight of this rucksack, because as soon as you start to wobble a bit, the momentum of that on your back, it pulls you back. So yeah, you've got to be really careful. Just encountering a bit of ice here actually, so I'm just going to have to keep an eye on that. And maybe now that we're getting into a bit of shade, maybe them spikes will be coming out. So we're probably about 3/4 of the way up now, and there's been some patches of ice, but you know, nothing really. We've been able to skirt around them, so there's still no micro spikes on them, needed them. Some quite deep snow drifts, probably up to my knees in places, but it's fine as long as you take your time, just keep plodding on and keep enjoying that. Ooh. And if you look up that way, that's up towards Pike up there. Look at the skies, wow. So we're just at the top of that valley now, and you've got Pike up there, and then just there, I don't know if you can see it, is Red Tarn. That's another Red Tarn. There's one at just below Elvelin, and that's another Red Tarn. It looks like it's a bit frozen, but not fully frozen. Then behind that we've got Weatherlam. Andy just said it's Black Sail, I think that next one. It drops down to Swirl Horse, up to Swirl How. Then there's Great Cars, and I think this is called Pike, this one, and that one is called Great Knot, I think. I've done all these, and I don't know if they're wearing rights or not. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But then you can see Bowfell there, the classic Bowfell with all them ribs running down from the summit. And right in the distance over there we've got Little Man and Skiddaw. Little Man, Lower Man, something like that. So we're not camping here. We're going to head up that way towards Crinkle Crags and have a mooch about and see what we fancy. Let's go. So we've just dropped down into the shade now behind Cold Pike, I think it is. I tell you what, that temperature is plummeted when you don't have that sun warming you up. Wow, I can feel it now. I might even have to put my gloves on. I'm not stopping to put a top on though, because we'll be back in the sun soon, and if I keep moving, keep a bit of pace, that'll keep me warm, so I will be fine. Just got to be careful of your footing on this. It's not too bad though, it's really dry, and where there's no snow or ice, it's quite grippy actually. Right, onward. So the side that we've been coming up has been north facing, and now we've got a bit higher where the sun's hitting the ground, there's no bloody snow. So we're wondering if we're going to have any snow up here. Time will tell. In these shaded bits, you know, on the path here, you can see we've got snow, but it's all melted because of the sun. And this March sun, it's got some real heat in it, you can really feel it. So we shall see what we get. Pike of Lisco there. Cold pike. Beautiful day, beautiful day. Right, we'll keep going. Oh my god, I've got to show you this. We just come up the path there. Crinkle Crags is behind us, and we just sort of crested out on this peak, and this view, I was just swearing. I mean, it's just oh, look at this. So we're looking out there, sun's on the Irish Sea, got these little tines here just frozen, and the sun's reflecting off them as well. And then Scafell's over there. I mean, I planned this route out about a week ago, and this peak that we're going to, it's not a Wainwright, it's not an anything really, but I thought that is going to be really quiet, and I know the views are going to be amazing. So Andy got in touch and said, are you going out? And I said, yeah, I've got something planned. And he said, I'll just tag along with you then. And my god, that is the Isle of Man's there, that's snowed in as well. Look at that, the sun reflecting, the orange of the sun reflecting off them little frozen tarns, just beautiful. So we're going to head over now to my chosen spot. There's a couple of little tarns over there as well, and see if we can find somewhere to pitch. Snow's a bit scratchy here, there's not a right lot of it, but it's bitter up here. I've only got this thin top on, so I'm going to have to put something else on soon when we start pitching up. But mate, look at this. It's worth the effort, really is worth the effort for views like this. Right, let's get going and find a pitch. Look at that, how the wind's carved out the snow, so beautiful. So we're sort of heading back to where we came from really, because it's too rocky down there. We thought maybe the snow would fill all the rocks in, but there's not enough. So we're heading back up towards Crinkle Crags and to where we've camped before, but the conditions were quite different to this. Oh, it's cold, but it's beautiful and it's worth it, it really is. So I've just come over to have a look at that. I mean, my god, Throne of the Gods is there, all sort of wintered up, and it gives it a real different feel to it when it's full of snow, proper winter feel. And then looking down into Great Moss, where I've been recently, Pike de Beeld, I camped on there recently. I camped in right in the middle of the Throne of the Gods. I've camped down on down near Scarlathing down there, and then across to Hardknott over there. Wow, absolute wow. And there's the Isle of Man. Sun. Oh, it's just, what a spot this is. But the problem with this spot, you know that elusive perfect pitch, the problem with this spot is we don't get sunrise views. there. So what we decided to do is just go a bit higher up and sort of get a bit of a view of that and a bit of a view of the sunrise, and a bit of a compromise, but hey, how bad can it be really? Look at that. I was up there just last week with Simon. God, just drinking it all in. I could just watch it for hours. But time's moving on and we need to find a pitch and get pitched up. So we're going to head back up here. Let's go. Right, so it's 5:20 now and we're all up. Pleasure Dome's looking good, just below Crinkle Crags, and you know what that is if you watch my channel. You know that's my favourite set of mountains, and they're right there in front of us. The sun's just setting above the Isle of Man there, and the sun sets in about 50 minutes I think. Look at the skies, so blue. Just watching the jets go by, absolutely gorgeous. So the usual gear, I've got the Thermarest, can't even remember what it's called, X-Therm, yeah, Thermarest X-Therm. You know what I'm like, I'm not into kit really, I'm just into this. So it's Thermarest X-Therm, Cumulus 450 quilt, Allak 2 tent, Z-Light pad. My food for today is, I've got some sandwiches as usual, a hot meal there, chicken, rice with vegetables, and a wee bottle of wine. So yeah, that's about it really. But what views, what views. And then looking that way, we've got Del Crag and Coniston Old Man. Andy's there in the Terra Nova Voyager. So we're looking forward to an absolutely awesome night. I've just changed the battery in the GoPro, and my god, I literally couldn't change it because I couldn't feel my fingertips. So I've got them coming back now, and got the new battery in. I just needed to tie my shoelaces. I couldn't tie my shoelaces because I couldn't feel my fingers. So now that they're coming back, I'll be able to tie my shoelaces. I mean, you'll be watching this sat at home in front of your fire thinking, oh, it's nice and warm, but you are. It's absolutely freezing. But fortunately, there's hardly any wind, just a light breeze. Right, so I'm going to just get myself sorted out in the tent and have a bit of a catch up with Andy. I'll be back to you in a bit. So it's 8:15 now. I've just had to go and melt some snow. I only brought up half a litre of water, and that's what I plan to do, melt snow. So excuse me. Yes, I made sure I had a full canister of gas, because melting snow is pretty inefficient, so I just had to make sure I had a full canister of gas before I set off. And yeah, sometimes you get a bit of grass in the snow, so I'm just going to pick that out as well. But yeah, 8:10 now, and the temperature is -4 degrees. So things are starting to freeze up, like my water bottle, I've left that out, so that's starting to freeze up. So I've just got to be careful moving stuff around and make sure it doesn't freeze up. But fortunately there's no wind, so that makes one hell of a difference, as we know. Yeah, so I'm going to get this water boiled up, and then I'm going to have a hot meal. So I'm looking forward to that, and I've got a little bottle of wine as well, which I'm looking forward to too. Right, let's get this snow melted. So I've just been sat here with my tea cooking away inside my jacket, keeping me warm. There it is. What have I gone? Chicken with rice and vegetables. So I've got that, and I've just been warming that up from -4 degrees. I mean, still, it's not particularly warm, but serves a purpose, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'm going to enjoy this, and I'll get back to you in a bit. So it's 11:15 now, and I've just been sat outside with Andy, just chatting, putting the world to rights, having a catch up. It's been great. But before I settle down, get in bed, I thought I'd have a last brew. Oh, it's good that. You may be able to see that the moon's just coming up behind us there. Excuse me. And yeah, it's the bit of wind is picking up, but it's still nothing. It's still an absolutely gorgeous night, and it's been so nice. It's just nice to be able to sit outside just chatting. We've got the temperature gauge over here. We'll go and see what temperature it is. -4, I think it's showing there. Oh God. Yeah, so I'm just going to finish off this brew, and then I'll probably check out for the night, get in the tent, and call it a night. But it's been really great. It's been great spending time with Andy. It's been great being up here on such a beautiful night. You know, no wind to speak of, although it's -4, because we've got the gear, and my hands have come back now. I've been struggling again with my hands, have been absolutely freezing, but they've come back now. My feet aren't too bad either. But I'm going to get these boots off, get another two pair of socks on, get my booty things on, thermal booties, and get in the quilts and settle down for the night, I think. Right, so I'll leave you with that, and see you in the morning. Well, good morning. It's nearly 7:30 now. Been up since just before 6 actually, and it's been a beautiful morning, but all of a sudden it's just sort of got clagged in. Sunrise is over there to the east, and yeah, you can't really see a right lot. I'm hoping this is going to clear, but it's really dry. Just a bit of frost on the tent there. Let's have a look at the temperature. Seems to have been about -4 all night. So we got -3.5. Yeah, but again, I keep saying it, but there's no wind, and it's just so good, and it gives it another atmosphere. This cloud just dropping on us like this, and sort of fogging us in a bit with the sun just breaking through there. It's a really atmospheric scene, and it's nice to have it like this as well, because you know, earlier it was really clear, and then when you get changing conditions like this, it just gives such a different atmosphere. Quite moody. Little frozen tarns just over there. So I've not had any breakfast yet. I've just had a quick cereal bar, just have something to eat, and I'm going to get the stove on now. My milk was frozen earlier, so I've had that in my pocket for about an hour, throwing milk out, and I'll have to melt some more snow for another brew. But yeah, I'll get the kettle on and have my first brew of the morning. Well, would you believe it, literally within 5 minutes of me doing the last bit of footage and it all being clagged in, look at it now, it's cleared. Such a changeable conditions. It's just like I was saying to Andy, it's like half a dozen camps in one. Absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got a wispy sort of cloud just drifting across the front of the Scafell range there. It's been amazing, this camp, really has. Just the changeable conditions and no wind. We've still got no wind. Do I keep telling you that? It's actually warming up a bit now. I think it's about -2. There you go, -2. So I've had some of my porridge drink. I've got a load of them left, and I think I've mentioned to you previously that those Quaker porridge things, they turn into a porridge drink. I don't think they put as much stuff in them. So I put a bit of water in and they just turn into like a porridge drink, but I've got a load of them left, so I'm just using them all up. So we just had a bit of a wander away from the tents now, and just the views from here are just absolutely amazing. Across to the Scafell range there, and the scene looking across the frozen tarns, it's just so beautiful, it really is. And if we look sort of northeast there, it's just totally clear all around. There's Crinkle Crags, and then the whole way around, great views of Weatherland there. I've convinced Andy to just chill out and take his time and do one of my long sort of pack ups this morning. It's about 10 o'clock now, I think, and he didn't take much convincing, to be fair. The great thing about coming out with Andy is when it comes to this game, we're just of the same mind. Sometimes we're sort of thinking the same things, and it's just such a pleasure to come out with someone that is in the same mind as you when it comes to all this. You know, we were looking at where to pitch, and we were each picking out similar pitching spots, and there's no like arguing about anything really. It's just great. So yeah, what a pleasure, a real pleasure. Still no wind. The forecast is for, I think it's like 20-mile-an-hour winds right now, and there's just a gentle breeze, so it's perfect. And we're just taking advantage of a great day like this to just hang around and just be in the mountains and just enjoy it, because often's a time that you just got to get away, pack up and get off, because it's so bad, so windy and raining and all that. But no, it's amazing. And looking across to the throne of the gods, doesn't get any better than that for me. Right, so I think it's about time now to start packing up quite slowly, like we do in conditions like this, because we can. And then we'll start heading back. Probably going to go back the same way that we came up. I think it took us about just over 2 hours to get up here. And then plot breakfast, I think. Right, let's go. So that's us all packed up now. It's 11:30, and yeah, we've had a great morning just taking all this lot in. Look at it now, it's just still don't want to leave. Just as we got packed up, the bloody sun came out. It's like, mate. So yeah, leave no trace, all nice and tidy, just as we found it. Andy was over there, so it's all gorgeous. And now we're going to set off heading back. But some of these little tarns, we've just been looking at them and they're frozen. The ice must be 2 or 3 inches thick easily, so they're well frozen solid. And yeah, it's lovely, it really is. Right, let's go. Look at that down there. Now that is the top of Crinkle Gill that I did last year. What a view of Crinkle Crags that is, absolutely beautiful. And then looking north, oh, sun's just come out. Looking north, you've got Skiddaw, Blencathra, and more locally down to Langdale Pike's there. Pike of Blisco, look at it. How fantastic does that look? Always loved Crinkle Crags. It's one of my first walks in the lakes that I did probably about 6 years ago now, and I've always loved Crinkle Crags, especially in winter. Right, so we just got back down into the Oxendale Valley now. It's absolutely beautiful still. But I tell you what, coming down there, they're both like a couple of bloody 90-year-olds. You know, there's bits of ice and then there's no ice, so you can't, there's no point in putting the spikes on because you probably end up tripping over the spikes, because most of it you don't need. So you just got to be really careful. But how beautiful is this? And it's been a great camp, it really has. Conditions have been sort of had everything really, but you couldn't ask for better conditions, and that's what I like. I like to be able to show you guys the views, the scenery, the solitude, the peace and tranquility of it all. That's what it's about for me, not rattling tents. I've done that and no, had enough of it. So it's been great spending time with Andy as well. Lad's an absolute legend, and hope to get out with him again soon too. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Maybe this is the last winter one. I don't know if we're going to get any more snow, but if we do, I'll try and be out, that's for sure. Get in the comments if you've got anything to say about my video, if you've got any advice for me. I always appreciate that too, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. See ya.